From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
You want to go where to buy a new refrigerator? Steve's A to Z Appliance in Cottonwood? In Cottonwood? Just a 10-minute drive. And they'll save us money. New and used, honest, reliable, factory-trained repair service and parts, and they'll save us money. And dispose of this thing? We gotta make the short drive to Steve's A to Z. Thanks, son.
Steve's A to Z Appliance, front and main streets in Cottonwood. Drive a little, save a lot.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that beautiful day we saw out there for many of us here, and we have got more of the same tomorrow. However, we are going to start to see the potential for some showers here for some of us here in Northern California tomorrow. Then after that, we see another ridge of high pressure build in. Temperatures warm up. So temperatures start to go back up, maybe even around 90 for some of the warmer spots by Thursday in parts of the valley. But then after that, a big drop in our temperatures, and with that drop in the temperatures, a chance for some rain. So really a lot to talk about in our deeper dive forecast. But before we get to that, here's a quick look at your forecast here for your Monday, April 28th. Of course, going into tomorrow. So tonight, temperatures dropping down around 50, give or take, for the valley. We've got 30s and 40s for the higher elevations, and looks like somewhere in the mid 40s for places like the inland areas and along the coast. Now, out the door tomorrow morning, there are going to be some clouds out there, especially around Humboldt County, along the coast there. Mostly cloudy skies and some fog. Otherwise, mainly sunny skies. Temperatures not too terribly cold. It should stay above that 30-degree mark for most of the higher elevations. So the ridge of high pressure has been the dominant feature today. There is a disturbance that's going to kind of ride over that ridge and kind of just clip Northern California, and that's going to be the source for some chances for showers here for parts of Northern California. So let's take a look at that. Let's take you into tomorrow morning. So we do have that fog along the coast, Humboldt Bay, making its way down Highway 101. Now tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., we're starting to see some high clouds roll in, but still dry, even for southern Oregon. By around midday, you can see that we do have some showers just beginning to clip the north end. So places like Siskiyou County, northwestern Modoc County, even Del Norte County looks like it's getting in on some of the action as well, but you can see just how insignificant it is. Now, by the afternoon hours, we start to see especially eastern Siskiyou, Modoc County, really seeing the bulk of the rain. But some of it is making its way to northern Shasta, parts of northern Lassen County as well. And notice, too, we're seeing some showers trying to develop in parts of the valley. Now, this is where I'm going to have to kind of disagree a little bit here with our in-house forecast model, as I think it's getting a little aggressive on the intensity of the rain for tomorrow. But I do still think we could see a passing sprinkle or some showers through the second half of the day on Tuesday for parts of the valley. And again, the bulk of that rain will be off to the north and east. And you'll notice it's fairly dry for Trinity County, western Siskiyou, Del Norte, Humboldt counties. And then we go into tomorrow night at 10 p.m., we're still seeing some leftover showers, but that should exit the region once we get into the midnight hour into Wednesday morning as well. All right, so here's your forecast for tomorrow. We got those temperatures somewhere in the low to mid 80s for your daytime highs. So despite that added cloud cover, it should still be a pretty warm day. Temperatures, though, are going to be somewhere in the mid 50s, even some 60s for some of the higher elevations. But where we're not going to see as much cloud cover there, you're looking at temperatures probably somewhere in the mid to upper 70s, and then probably upper 50s to low 60s for those of you along the coast. All right, so let's take a look at your 7-day outlook. And again, I've got that chance for showers here for Tuesday. Do not get concerned about the overall extent of it, because it's not going to be a lot. Many of you may even make it through the day tomorrow in the valley without even seeing a drop of rain. It's going to be some isolated showers, passing sprinkles. That will most likely be the extent of it. Wednesday, Thursday, you're dry. Thursday is the peak of the warming trend, and the temperature is dropping. Look at that. We're back down into the mid 60s by the time we get to Saturday. And with that drop in temperatures, we're also looking at a chance for some more wet weather. Now for the coast, you should, for the most part, be dry. As you saw there, Del Norte County around midday tomorrow, there may be a sprinkle or two, but otherwise fairly dry. That's also the case inland. Weaverville, I've got you with a slight chance for an isolated shower here, especially for the first half of as we go into the early afternoon hours, but otherwise dry for Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday, the peak of that warming trend, more showers coming in Friday, Saturday, and even parts of the mountains, especially north and east, could see a chance for some more showers here, especially out towards Modoc County and into the eastern mountains here on Sunday. But you can kind of just see a little bit of everything out there for everyone. If you want sunshine, you got it. If you want partly cloudy skies, you got it. If you want some rain, you've got that as well. If you want some heat, you've got that, and you've also got those cooler temperatures coming in by the weekend. That is a look at your Krueger's Quickcast. Do want to give you a quick reminder that there's a free Weather NorCal app you have access to. Just search for Weather NorCal in your app store and download the hyper local Weather NorCal app for free. All right, so once again, we take a look at that satellite image here as we kind of go into the deeper dive now. Let's kind of take you into it here. We've got the ridge of high pressure right here. Now, we've got this disturbance that's kind of riding over that ridge that'll kind of dive down to the south-southeast, and that's going to allow us to see more clouds and some of those showers. So let's take a look at that one more time for tomorrow, and you can really start to see some of those high clouds move in. It's a dry first half of the day for most areas. By midday, extreme northern portions of the state seeing some of those showers. We do start to see some development here around parts of the valley, but I think it's going to be late in the afternoon before we start seeing any showers. And I also don't think, as I mentioned earlier, it's going to be as intense as what you're seeing here, but still some passing showers and a sprinkle or two, and we're still seeing the fog along parts of the coast here. That begins to move out by Tuesday night, and by Wednesday morning we are dry once again. Still some clouds off to the east. We're also seeing some of that fog once again around Humboldt Bay into central Humboldt County. And then by the afternoon, things get a little interesting here. It is showing and getting a little aggressive on the potential for some showers here down to the south and east. I'm not sold on that solution just yet, as I think most of it should stay to our south, but that's something I'll be watching here. But for now, I'm going to keep it dry even for the areas that you see here for your Wednesday. And we're going to really hold off until Friday and in particular Saturday before we really start seeing any significant rain across the region here. So looking at some of the forecast rainfall totals, again, I do think we could see the potential for some measurable rainfall for tomorrow for parts of the valley, but most likely I think that might be overdoing it. I think in most cases for the valley, you're talking a trace to maybe 100th or two at most, and I think most of it will be confined here to the north and east. And when you look at this, you can see even this is not going to be all that significant, most likely less than 1/4 of an inch, and in many cases even less than 1/10 of an inch of rainfall. So really, tomorrow's system is not a very strong one, and it's not going to last for very long. Now, as we go into the rest of the week here, right, we take you into your Friday. We've got that next system that's beginning to come in, and that's going to bring us a potential for more showers for some of the higher elevations. And eventually, as we go into Saturday, it becomes a little bit more widespread. We've got this area of low pressure right here, this trough. The cooler air associated with it is going to bring some snow off into the Sierra. By Sunday, we've got some wraparound moisture still, especially for the eastern mountains, but drying out by the time we get into Monday and Tuesday of next week as high pressure begins to settle in. And that's really going to help to illustrate what we're looking at here with the temperatures as well. So we've got this, you see this right here, this little kink in the jet stream here. This is a very weak disturbance. That's going to be the source for the reason why we're going to see some of those showers that we'll see here for tomorrow. But then, as that kicks on out of here, we've got high pressure building in. This is the peak of the heat wave for this week on Thursday. That scoots on out. There's the colder air moving in. So we go up with the temperatures, then back down by the time we go into the weekend. And then by the time we go into next week, they go right back up as high pressure begins to settle in. So that's that roller coaster ride with those temperatures. In fact, we take a look at that 10-day trend, you can clearly see that. They go up, big drop by the time we get into Saturday, and then they go back up. But notice as we do go into next week, we are going to see the temperatures climb above normal, but not by that much. We're only going to be looking at highs in the low 80s for the valley through most of next week. So no major increase in those temperatures. Now looking at the wave heights for your Tuesday, I still expect them to be fairly high. And going into your Wednesday, they are showing signs of subsiding a little bit here, but still fairly high. So we look at your marine forecast for your Tuesday. The winds a little bit weaker than they were today, but still from the north at 15 to 20 knots. There is still a small craft advisory through tomorrow afternoon. All right, so once again for tonight, basically about 50 give or take for the valley. We're talking 30s and 40s for the higher elevations, and looks like in those mid 40s for your overnight lows tonight along the coast. Your Trinity County neighborhood forecast, temperatures mainly in the 70s, 76 degrees for Lewiston, Ruth about 72. So again, I've got that isolated shower here and there, but really for the most part tomorrow you're dry in Trinity County. Dry through Thursday, more showers coming in by the end of the week and for the first half of the weekend. 62 in Fortuna, 73 degrees for Garberville. I think the coast Inland, all looking at dry conditions through Thursday, seeing that next chance for rain by Friday and Saturday. Orleans, a high of 75 tomorrow, 75 for Hoopa, and looks like Willow Creek, about 76 degrees. And for Siskiyou County, where I think we're going to see most of the showers will be in eastern Siskiyou County, less activity as you head off to the west, places like Happy Camp and even into Scott Valley as well. But still that chance for showers, dry Wednesday, Thursday, better chances coming in by the end of the week, and in particular for your Saturday. Modoc County, I think you'll see mostly cloudy skies and those showers, especially by the second half of the day. Dry for Wednesday, Thursday, more showers Friday, Saturday, and possibly even lingering into Sunday. Your eastern mountains neighborhood forecast. There you can see the showers tomorrow. Now, I think most of the showers for the eastern mountains will be in northern Shasta, northeastern Shasta, Lassen County. But as you head south into Plumas County, you'll probably see a little less in the way of rain. But you've got Wednesday, Thursday with dry and warmer conditions, more showers for Friday, Saturday, and lingering into Sunday. Your valley neighborhood forecast to the south, we've got those temperatures mainly in the 80s. There could be an isolated sprinkle or a light shower late in the day Tuesday, but the first half of the day should be dry, and then dry for Wednesday, Thursday, warming up, and then it looks like we see that chance for showers by Saturday. Here's your Chico 7-day forecast. You're dry for Wednesday, Thursday, even Friday. More showers entering the picture here by Saturday, and significantly cooler, dropping down to the mid to upper 60s. Let's take you up to the north. 84 degrees for Redding and Anderson, 83 for Cottonwood and Red Bluff, and Whiskeytown a high of about 79 degrees. There's your 7-day forecast for Redding. Temperatures climbing up to possibly 90 degrees by Thursday. And now, Friday, I've got you under partly to mostly cloudy skies. We could possibly see some showers even for the valley as early as Friday, but the latest forecast models really want to give us the main event on Saturday before we dry things out again and warm up by Sunday and Monday. That's your evening forecast. I'll be back again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. and live on Coffee with Krueger at 6:30. We'll see you then.
May get active with the Shasta Bike Month and Challenge. For both beginner and experienced cyclists, you can ride anywhere, anytime during the month of May. Whether it's to work, the store, or a leisurely spin on a trail, every ride counts. Join the challenge and log your rides with the Love to Ride platform. Compete as a team of coworkers, friends, or family. Every bike ride you take earns you chances to win local prizes. Sign up today at ShastaBikeChallenge.org.